Hey guys, Kev here, and I think I'm going to do a collection video. I've been meaning to do one for months, and I just loan out all my knives, like I loan them out a lot, and I get them back, and then I do the thing where I'm like, hey, I'm just going to not do loaners for a while, and I'm going to get my knives back, and then I'll do a collection video. But after like a week or two, I'm like, I'm talking to this person or that person. I'm like, this knife's awesome. Like, you ever, and then I'm like, I have one. I could send them. And then I offer, and then I send it. And then I sell knives because I need money, or I just want to turn knives over because I run out of room in my case, or I just feel weird having a ton of knives. I feel weird having knives I don't carry that cost $400 or $500. I barely carry it. Like I liked it when I got it, and then I don't carry it anymore. And it just sits there, and it's like $500 just staring me in the face. And to me, that's stupid, right? Like I just, to me, that's dumb. Like I don't have money like that where I can just have $500 objects all over the place. I got plenty of knives. So there's plenty of money just sitting there, but like, you know what I mean? It's just a thing. So then last week I recorded a video called, Knives So Nice. I bought them twice, right? I got the idea from Jared. Shout out Jared and Eve. And I guess I deleted it, or I never uploaded it to my MacBook. I don't know what happened. The video just disappeared. Literally an hour of my life wasted. And I was going to redo that today, but then I'm like, why don't I just do the collection video and go from there? Like, yeah, not all my knives are here. And I have some new ones coming. Like I have a couple customs on the way. I have a Tough Knives custom reset in Lefty coming. Look, it's going to be awesome. And then I just traded my Trevor Berger to Jake from Bearded Gear for his custom Pena Laney's clip. So I have that coming. I have other stuff coming. I have other stuff out. But who gives a fuck, right? To me, it's always a mental thing. Like I feel like I need to show you guys every knife I own so that I look cool. Like, that's how it is, right? Like, it boils down to just that. Me not wanting to look less cool because my Evo's not here. Or my Rosie's not here, right? Those are both here. But you get my point, and it's just dumb. It's not like, I'm not, like, that self-conscious or whatever. It's just how your brain works. When you have a channel like this, you have a collection, and you show your knives off. You want to have the cool knives in when you do a collection video. But it's just not going to work out, right? So I've taken 3 minutes to say, this is my collection right this second. I'm selling knives. I literally just sold the Satori 2.0 today. I sold a couple knives. I sold a knife that came in an hour ago already to my buddy Brent. It's just how it is. But so I'm going to go through these. I'm not going to show you the ones that are in on loan. That's dumb. I might have to, I have the case right here. I'm not going to show you the gas station knives. I just don't have all of them. Like, real quick, I can show you the 4 that I have in my case. I have the American Bald Eagle riding a motorcycle scalpel knife that Bobby Stitches got me. Shout out to Issuing Stitches. You can go to his Etsy store. Actually, it's in the description down below. And you can use my code LeftyEDC there. This is an absolute atrocity of a knife, but it's funny. So it sits in my case to whip out during live streams. I have the mermaid knife. Shout out to David from Eggs and Ham 22. I hope you're doing good, man. I haven't seen you around. Maybe I haven't been around. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you're good. This is an awesome knife. And then I have the Dalica right here. If you're part of the Dalica club, you know. I still need to put the gold stud on. And last but absolutely not least is the Shadow Ranger. So those are the gas station knives I have in my main case. I put a few of them down in another case, so sorry to the people who gave me those. Mainly Brandon Thrasher. I love you, dude. And that's really it for like those knives. I have a couple other novelty type things, but we'll get to them. So I'm just going to go row by row. I literally do not have a system. It's all crazy out of order right now. I got my AHA sparkling water. Shout out to Backpack B for recommending that. So, actually, I'm going to start over here at my desk. I have a few knives sitting out. So I don't know if this counts, but Arrow Crafted sent me this knife. This is their side slip utility knife made out of titanium, and you use, obviously, razor blades. Has a little clip that is also the retention point. Pretty cool knife. I've used it for a couple packages and a label or two, just kind of testing it out, and I've given away a couple they gave me. But this is $100 for this titanium one, which is crazy. Then I have the Serge Panchenko Leaf. Guys, this might be the most surprising knife this year for me. This is a knife I bought on a whim just because I was in a slip joint sort of phase because I just designed one and I wanted to see slip joints this thin and everything. And I saw this drop and I picked it up for like $125. It's M390 and titanium, but I didn't realize how small it was. This thing is absolutely fucking tiny. Like, here's that side slip, right? It's very, very small. What else do I have here? I have like a number 2 pencil, like, just so you can see how freaking small it is. And it actually really surprised me, though, at how much I love it. So, like, I don't think I've done a full review on it, but I've had it for like a month now, and I adore this thing. It's an excellent little utility knife. It has great action. Probably, maybe the best walk and talk I've felt on a slip joint. Just really satisfying in terms of opening and closing. I hate that it has a clip, but other than that, I mean, you know, it works really good as a little just utility knife because of the blade shape. Just a little cleaver. I really like this thing. So it sits on my desk at all times. Then I have 2 of these I just got in today. I have like 4 other knives up there. I have like 6 knives up there in my giveaway bin. But, you know, technically those are mine. I bought most of them. But, like, I'm giving them away. I didn't buy them for the collection, you know what I mean? So they're not going to count. That would just be to add numbers, which, like I said earlier, I'm not doing just to try to look cool. Even though my brain wants me to. So this one's the Black Micarta Conspirator, and this one is the wood, Boca Kombucha wood stuff. And this is the one I'm keeping right here, the wood one. And the reason for that is twofold. One, I don't have any wood handled knives. And 2, the button sticks out a little further than it does on this micarta one. And as a lefty, that's kind of important because you have to kind of like get to the button a lot with your index finger, where right-handed, you just pull and pop, pull and pop. Doesn't really matter how proud that button is, you know what I mean? So as a lefty, it just made sense, plus the wood. This knife is really cool, guys. The detent is not the best on the flipper. It works. You can see it works. When you first get it, it'll feel kind of lazy, but it breaks in real fast. But the reverse flick is dialed. And the detent, like, it's not weak. It's good. So anyway, I sold this one to Backpack B already. My homie, I was going to give it away, but he wanted one, and I figured whatever. So I gave it to him for what I paid. And those are the conspirators from Civivi. So now we're going to get into the case. And yeah, let's do it. So right side. These are loaners. The first one is the Axial Gear Enzy. This is their new frame lock flipper that just came out. This was actually given to me by Axial Gear, but it's my knife in the collection. Titanium and 20 CV. Very well done. I guess we're going to see if I remember the names of all the knives, and maybe we should count how many knives there are. We're at 2. I'm not counting that slip joint, so 1, 2, 3. I'm not counting the extra conspirator either, so we're at 3. Yeah, this thing's cool. It's got a great detent and good ergos. It's a small little knife. The clip kind of sucks, and I hate that it has a slot on this side, not on this side, but they should have just left it righty only. But this knife, for what it is, for this size, 2.9 inches with that reverse tanto. We should see how many reverse tantos and sheep's foot blades are in this collection. But yeah, I really like this one. So that's the Axial Gear Enzy. Number 4 here is going to be the Craig Brown Cortex version 2. Bought this off my buddy Jake, Bearded Gear. I sold him one. He traded it for this one, and then he sold me this one. I mean, it was over like 6 months, but and I'm glad, man. I really, really love this knife. This is one of my favorites. Fits my hand like a glove. Nice choil reverse tanto, sort of sheep's foot blade. Just great for what I like to do. The action, absolutely incredible. This one's on skiffs. Zerk pivot collar, excellent milling. Black micarta with the blue titanium hardware, just excellent. I think it's CPM 154. And guys, out of the sort of Holt Blade Works, the Grimsmo, like the Rask and the Haptic and the Spectre and such, I think this is the best one. It's a little different because it's like a top flipper, but you can reverse flick it. But it has that same just guillotine drop shut action. It's so freaking good, guys. But make sure you get a bolster lock. That's all I'm going to say. Even if you're right-handed, the lock bar ones stink. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. Craig Brown, Cortex version 2 is awesome. Number 5. Ooh, just smacked it into something like an idiot. This is the Lucas P from Ware Knives. I'm actually currently trying to sell this to a friend, so we'll see. And there's really one reason I'm selling it. And that's because it's a clip point. Like I said, sheep's foot warnies are kind of my thing these days, but I love this bolster lock. I love the bead blast on the titanium. Now, I had to mod this to make it right. Now, I didn't mod it. Shout out to Knife Modders, but I had to get it modded. I actually bought this one off of Jake, too. I had to get the hole added. The studs were good, but man, is this just money. The D10, everything is just money with the hole for the thumb flick and the reverse flick. It is so good. And then you have this clip that I got, MXG Gear ZT0450 clip I had laying around. It literally changes this knife because the clip 3D milled is so freaking shallow. It's so bad how much sticks out. And Knife Modders matched it to the scales. So this knife just looks good like this. And it performs so much better in terms of action with that and skiffs in it, of course. Almost all of these knives are going to have some kind of aftermarket bearing if they've been around long enough. But yeah, action's incredible. This acid wash is freaking incredible. I love it in the hollow grind. But, you know, it's a clip point. I'm not going to want to use it. And it just makes me not want to carry a knife. I'm sure I'll eventually get over that, but it really is a struggle for me, guys. So that's number, 5? Number 6 is probably my favorite knife in the collection. The Oz Machine Company Roosevelt. This thing just speaks for itself, guys. It is so flippin' good. This is one of those knives that is not a sheep's foot or warnie, and I still absolutely love it. Carry it all the time. I adjust for this knife because it's just so good. The ergonomics are to die for. I overpaid for this knife, so I didn't talk about price on any of these. Do you guys care? I don't know. I paid $1,100 for this, $900 towards so I had a Gavco custom one-off that I traded plus $200 for this, basically, which is a lot of money. This stock was probably around $800, $850, so I didn't overpay like crazy, but you know, $200, $300. These are like, I think these are like $80. The Craig Brown 750 new, the NZ I believe is $179 or $189 on Axial Gear's website. You can use my code LeftyEDC. What else did I show? The Leaf, I think I said, was $125, and then I gave you the price, $100 for that side slip. You can get an aluminum one for like $69 or something. So there we go, prices. What I love about this is, one, it's like rust proof, right? Almost everything on here is rust proof. I don't know about the insert, but I mean, it's Z-Finite steel titanium. It's on ceramic bearings with a plastic Delrin cage. Just excellent, right? Freaking love it. Mirror finish on that stone wash. This clip just It's so good, that Zirku tie with the green throughout that matches the hardware. Having this screw match is just incredible. I absolutely love this. It's just one of the best knives ever. It is not overhyped. Trust me. You get one in hand and you're like, oh. And then you have it for a day and you carry it. And then you're like, I need one. And then you're fucked. So there you go. That's the Rosie. That was what? So it was what? 4, 5, 6. Number 7 is the CM Knife Designs designed Kubi Royal. The KU321 is one of the only budget knives I keep in the collection. I have a handful. I just love it. One, I love Colin. He's my business partner on Divo Knives. And I love the design. This is the knife that, like, I met Colin through. We started chatting online or on Instagram, and then he sent me his sample or his version of it that Kubi sent him to review. And I did a video. I bought one instantly. Like, I turned the camera off and bought one. And I sent his back, and then it, like, I don't know, a week later, I drew the stout up, and I sent it to him. We were just chatting, and he's like, I can mock that up for you. He did. And then I was like, well, now we're partners. That's how it went down. So I absolutely love this knife, though. Like, the slot is so good. The front flipper is so good. The action's so good. I can't wait for Kubi to make a premium version. It's the ergos. It's just excellent. Colin kills it, guys. So that's number 7. And while we're there, let's talk about the Divo Stout. That'll be number 8. I've had one of these in pocket every single day. I think every day since the prototypes came in. I have not been without one. Oh, no, I did send one. I sent mine to Backpack B for a few days before this one got here. So technically, a couple days I didn't have one. But absolutely love this, guys. This is the Divo Knives Stout. Our pre-order is going to be on April 9th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you can still get one of these if you want. It'll be a pre-order. They'll deliver around August, September. We are making some changes in terms of finishes and stuff. You'll be able to choose when you do the pre-order. I think we're going to cut this back a little bit to add a little more lock bar access. We're updating the clip to take Lynch replacement clips. It's going to be a hollow grind. We're trying to get it thinness down to like 16 to 18 thousandths behind the edge. Some really good, just simple changes. We're going to add the steel marking. A lot of people wanted that, so we're going to find a way to add that. But very excited about this knife. Just absolutely loving it. Somebody in my DMs today said they thought the stout was awesome. And they said, I think you maybe even surprised yourself. And you know what? I did. I was absolutely blown away by QSP on this one, guys. They absolutely they brought it home. So, big shout out to them. Check out the pre-order April 9th at 1 p.m. on our website, divoknives.com. We really want to get one of these in your hands, and we need your help to get it funded. So, if you're interested, try to pick one up that day. But anyway, that's the stout. So, that was number 8, I think. Number 9, this is a gift from the douches. I believe this one is from Brandon Thrasher. Has LeftyEDC douche number 1 on there. I am in an Instagram group with Brandon Thrasher, Stevie Wonder Woman, a.k.a. said Stevie, and Chris from Grady's Gear. We call it the 4 douches. And I'm just going to write down that I'm at number 9 because I want to know how many I have, and I also don't want to forget. So, also, Grimsmo Saga pen real quick, if we're talking about collection. I love this pen. I almost bought a plain one the other day. They had them available. So just simple and good. And then my other sort of bougie pen is the Urban Survival Gear. What is this called? The Mini Go something. I forget. There's too many. What the hell is this thing called? Urban Survival Gear. Tie Scribe Mini Go. You'll notice a theme with my pens. They all take Parker refills. I love this pen, by the way. Titanium looks like Zerk. It's so good. And then I think I have an EP1 titanium pen, and that's it. Anyways, this is a Best Tech Lizard. Not something I would personally like pick up or anything. The detent is so stiff, I can't even flick it left-handed. But to be honest, this is one of the most ergonomic knives there is. Like, it just melts into my hand personally in that choil. And then you have this little poon spoon right here, and you're good to go. So it's actually not a bad knife, but it's more of a novelty. It kind of just sits here, and it won't leave the collection because it is laser engraved with that on there. Next up, we have the Asher Knives Nomad 3.0. We're at 10 here. 3.0. You guys know I love Asher Knives. I have a discount code with them. LeftyEDC will get you 10% off your order from Asher Knives. And basically, because I review other knives, people go buy their knives and use my code. I get one of each model for free. I give away most of them, but I have kept a few. This is one of them. I gave away my Asher Nomad 2.0 and my frame lock when I got this because I just didn't need those anymore because I really like this. You have sort of contoured G10, very smooth G10 scales. His G10, the way he has it done is some of the best G10. It's like the only G10 that I actually like and carry. You have an absolutely perfect execution of the axis lock. These bars are metal. They grab you. You get a good grip to pull down. It's on bearings, so it drops. Thumb stud, just excellent. You have a fuller if you want to try to flick it. I struggle with it because the lock kind of gets in the way. But there you go. Ergonomic, deep carry clip, just excellent all around. M390, razor sharp, razor or super thin blade. Just excellent, guys. The Nomad 3.0 from Asher. Next up we have, I'm trying to move faster, sorry guys. Oh, this one's like 96 bucks. I believe. Maybe it's a little under 90. And then the Lizard, I have no idea, sorry. The Royal's like 60 bucks on Amazon or White Mountain. This is the Mallory Designs Forest. These were $100 and I believe $75, $185 shipped maybe. And I bought 4 of these. I bought 3 of them for my good buddies, Jake, Kyle, and Chris. And then I obviously have my own that I pre-ordered. Absolutely love this knife. Sheep's foot, reverse tanto, whatever you want to call it. Just so good at the things I do. You have this marbled carbon fiber. It's got some voids, but I could care less. You have this 3D mill clip. Yeah, it's not my favorite carbon fiber, but it works. A lot of people don't like the lock bar access on this guy. It is cut out, but you have to use the corner of your nail. And some guys don't like going in like this. That's how I do it, right-handed, so it's fine. A lot of guys like to go like straight across or whatever, so it's kind of awkward for them. They end up using like, I don't know, it just doesn't work. For me, it works great. The detent, money. The slot, money. The ergos, absolutely stupid. Thin stock, super slicey, full flat grind. Drops to your nail, shake shut. Like, this knife right here is kind of an example of, if you want the super thin, slicey EDC knife, go with the Forest. If you want something that can do a little more heavy-duty stuff, still do all that EDC, and is a little more, you know, bougie, so to speak, classed up a little bit, you can go with the Stout. They're very similar in design, not completely, obviously, but ergos and everything are the same, but you're looking at a much thinner knife on the Forest overall. So you're going to get that just really, really thin and slicey EDC, where this is going to be a little more robust for you. Now you're going to get the drop shut on this guy. On this one, you're going to get a sort of swing down and then a shaker because it's just so light. But anyway, love that knife. And sorry, had to pull out the Stout again. That is the Forest from Mallory Designs. I believe that was number 11. And then we'll roll right into 12 is the Mini Tempest right here. And this is from Sharp by Design. I actually have 2 of these, so let's make that 13. I love this knife. I objectively just think this might be the best knife ever. It's hard to say, man. I do love the Rosie. But this thing, man, it's made by Riyadh, designed by Brian Ado, and it just, man, it $425. I just don't think you can find a better knife for that price point. Even his customs, man. I've handled a custom full-size Tempest. Didn't feel this good. Like, I absolutely just think this knife is incredible. I have this version with the blue marble fat carbon or dark matter blue, I don't know, hand satin drop point, and then I have a blacked out handle with gold dark matter fat carbon and the drop point. Just such a good knife, so clean. You can reverse flick the fuller, you can front flick the front flipper, obviously. Just excellent action. One of the best knives, $425 in this configuration. Next up, we have the Luft Concepts Avant. I also bought 2 of these, but I sold one already. So let's mark down 14 here. This is designed by my buddy Jake over at Bearded Gear and Ryan from Rimmer Designs. And this, if you're looking for a super lightweight EDC, this knife is incredible. And it still has that fidget factor. Has the flipper tab back here, which was knocked down, so it feels really comfortable to fire out. And the detent is dialed. A lot of people think this detent is light, and I was one of those people when I had the prototype. I think they dialed it up just a little bit, but you can see when it breaks, it fires out of there. There's no issues with the detent. You get to the top of the hole, fires out. But the problem people have is they try flicking it out from like down here, and then it just feels weak because you're that far away from the pivot. But if you're up here, closer to the pivot, bang, just fires out. The ergos are insane on this thing. Very comfortable back here. You climb up here, climb up on this guy. Crown spine feels super comfortable. You can back up, use the ramp. Very Spyderco-esque in that sense. Black micarta, belt satin, epic hollow grind from Riot. Just insane action on skiff bearings again, guys. Skiffs and everything that I can fit them in. They're in the Mini Tempest, right? Anything I can fit them in, they go in. This knife is just cool. I don't know how else to say it. It wasn't my favorite knife to begin with, but it just grew on me day by day, minute by minute, and it's definitely one of the cooler knives, especially when you're talking about just a good EDC knife, you know what I mean? So that's the Luft Concepts Avant. Next up, we have the Kvist Bladeworks Variant PE, that's 15. This is the production version. This is made by QSP as well. And I actually have a custom. So let me mark down 60. Trying to keep track how many knives I have for some reason. This has Mars Valley fat carbon scales. Absolutely gorgeous. These are made by the designer, Jacob Lundquist. He is a great dude. And I have a custom with Purple Haze fat carbon. It does not have a clip, and it has a little bit different of a lock bar. It sticks out a little bit further so you can get better access on this side. You have to use your nail there in the corner to get this, but once you get used to it, it's great. Action on this for a $60 knife is incredible. Detent, perfect. Ergos, so good. Some people just don't like this knife because of this cutout, and they think ergonomically it's terrible. And I think that's just your hand size, right? For me, my middle finger lands right in the middle of that cutout, and then boom. It just feels super comfortable. It's one of the only sway backs that I think is actually really comfortable. Action's great. The custom is, dude, by far the best bang for your buck knife you can get on the planet. It was $300 for a full custom. And it has Delrin bearings, has the double detent deployment system, not double detent like slip joint. It's like the Oz Roosevelt double detent system. Absolutely incredible. The variant PE and the variant are baller. Next, another budgety knife. This is the White Mountain Knives exclusive Artisan Cutlery Small Arian with the liner lock version. So it's ARRPM 9, red coral micarta. I have a Artisan 3D milled clip on here that looks way better on this thing than the stock budget clip. Liner lock, very good. It's got a great detent. Not the best action, but I mean, it's really good for a budget knife. I haven't opened this in a while, so like probably just need to break it in a little bit, let those oils soak in. But my biggest gripe with this knife is just the slot's not like big enough to do the things I like to do. Like, I just want it to be easier to flick and stuff like that. But otherwise, I freaking love this. I do have a friend, Seth, who's supposed to be buying this. He asked me to hold it for him. So, Seth, hurry your ass up and buy this thing. So, that's that. That'll be, what, 17, I guess. Then we have the ProTech left-handed SBR. And this thing fires. This one was provided to me by ProTech, which is awesome. You know, this cool stonewash, their deep carry clip. Really good ergos for a tiny little knife like this. You can climb up here and kind of use it as a choil. I will be honest, I'm not a big out-the-side auto guy or an OTF guy. So, like, I have this, and it's in the collection. They gave it to me, so I'm not going to, you know, sell it or anything. But I don't carry it very often. I carried it a lot for review, and I really did enjoy it. I mean, you hear that thing just thunder out. I mean, it's true what they say about ProTechs. The finish on the scale is excellent. I'm just not an out-the-side guy, so, like, it doesn't see pocket time a lot. And this is a very, like, kind of chunky, thick, little guy. So it's not really for my purposes. Plus, it's sort of a, you know, spear point, which is cool, but not my preferred blade shape. So that's the SBR and Lefty. I believe these are like $250. And that Artisan was like, I think, $80. Next up, ProTech Malibu in the textured black stonewashed version. I did just get a show exclusive blue textured one with, I think, a pearl button somebody picked up for me. Shout out to Sinister. At the show. So I'm probably selling this to a friend or whatever. It's probably gone by the time you see this, but the blue one will be in its place. And I've had like 8 Malibus at this point. Love the knife. I just always like different versions of it. And they always come out with a new cooler one, so I get that and then I sell what I had. You know, it's just how it is. But it'll be cool to have a blue one again because that's kind of my mascot, you know. But I absolutely love the Malibu. So comfortable in hand. The textured thing, man, it absolutely changes the knife. The knife that was already so good becomes better. It's amazing. It really is. This one has a lot of stick. I haven't tried putting graphite on it. People tell me that helps, so we'll see if that helps. Hopefully the new one doesn't have stick and we're good to go, but we'll see. Otherwise, it's really good. It's broken in really nice. Right-handed. It works great. So that is the ProTech Malibu. Love this thing. $260 for this version. Next up, oh, Jesus, Kev. Maniac. Oh, no. Next up, we have the Quiet Carry Waypoint. This was sent in to me by Quiet Carry to review and keep, which was awesome of them. I have bought a couple of these in the past, so paid my dues, so to speak. Love this knife. This is my favorite knife they make. It reverse flicks well. It thumb flicks well. It's a titanium liner lock, but yet it's still super thin. Has a wire clip that's deep carry and reversible. Completely rust proof. That's the cool thing about this Vanex steel. Vanex super clean. And I love the hollow grind. I love the blade shape on this, even though it is sort of a clip point. It comes down low enough that, like, it works for everything I need it to. So, excuse me, this is a bit of a the hell am I exception to the rule for me. I just love this knife with a passion, guys. It does not drop shut. I mean, it's so much smoother than it used to be, but does not drop shut, and that's so weird for me to love. But this knife being rust proof just, like, is a game changer. I love this knife, guys. It's so good. These were like, I don't know what they were. Were they $295, I think, for the different versions they had? I'd love to try to get like a black knurled one or something. I don't know. I just love this knife. Total just gem. If you need a good EDC knife, just one or whatever, like, this knife is incredible. That's the Waypoint from Quiet Carry. Next up, we have the Custom Knife Factory and Rotten Designs collaboration Evo or Evolution 2.0. The other probably favorite knife in my collection next to the Roosevelt. Gets much less pocket time than the Rosie, but I love it all the same. This is the one with the carbon fiber show scale and a Zircuti clip that's custom from Johnny T. So check him out on Instagram. Mean ass hollow grind. It's just one of the most badass knives that's ever existed. I love it so much. Of course, I have skiffs in here. Had skiffs in the Malibu as well. This, I believe, was $630 new. I paid $590 for the all-tie one, and then I traded it for this one to my buddy Doug. Hope you're out there. Just well, Doug. Haven't heard from you in like a year. And then I won, actually, in a raffle. I paid like $50, and I won a full dress one. And I sold that. And I've just kept this one. I love this carbon fiber one because of the weight. The full dress one just weighs so much more, and you're just not going to carry it if you're me, you know? I just don't like carrying heavy knives, and so I never carried it, so I just sold it. The ergos are very good. You can hold it back here. You can hold it up here. Sheep's foot blade. It doesn't get used a lot. It's, you know, it's a showpiece, sort of, you know what I mean? Waiting on the 3.0, but I absolutely love the Evo 2.0. One of the best knives just ever. Maybe the best. I don't know. But that's it. Yeah, it was $630. They go for like $1,000 now, I think. If you can find one. Excuse me. Next up, we have the Asher Knives Spiro Flipper. So this is the green version. And then I do have a blue prototype. He changed the color to a gray, like a blue-gray. But this was a prototype I got to check out. Really cool. This one doesn't even have a clip. But yeah, this green one's awesome. You're talking S35 VN steel for like $80 with really good contoured G10. Again, like I said, his G10 that he uses is just insane. I love it. This action is incredible on this thing. Look at that. The D10 is perfect. Push button, light switch. Just such a good knife. You know what I mean? I think we're at 19, 20, 21 now. Really good. Very thin stock. His knives are always super slicey and good EDC knives. That's what they are. They're just budget EDC knives that do it so, so well. And I love having prototypes. It's kind of cool to have prototypes. So those are the Asher Spiro flippers. Then I have the Spiro prototype. This is the original Spiro design. It's kind of the one that started it all when it comes to like the locking, the liner lock, frame lock versions. He had the axis lock ones first, but this was kind of the OG to the sort of budgety liner locks he did, the Spiro, and then he did the Nomad eventually. But this is a prototype. Really cool to have this. It was just cool to be involved with that before I even had a channel. This one has detent lash, which was like a whole conversation me and him had. It was great. None of the ones you got were, but had it. It's just funny. And the knife almost looks nothing like this. You know what I mean? It's cool. So that's the Spiro prototype. Then I have, well, let me do this first. Then I have the Asher Silva titanium frame lock flipper that was $100, drop shut. No, it was $95. Basically dropped shut. And this was a couple years ago. And this is the one that started the ball sack craze. Look at that. Never noticed it. Neither did Justin from Asher until Kyle over at DTOM was like, it's a ball sack. So now it's the infamous ball sack knife. And I have stickers. And I have freaking ball sacks I wave at the camera during live streams. Comfortable in hand. Just a great knife. Has a great edge. S35EN. Have always loved this knife. Yeah, and it will stick around. I just love it. So that is the Asher Silva. Then we have, I have a couple other Ashers, but they're out on loan right now, and that's just how it is. These are my Finches. I have two. This is the Holiday QSP OEMs. These very well done. These are steel bolster locks with sort of traditional materials, titanium clips, and 154 cm hand rub blades, which is why they're, like $140. now that I've worked with QSP and everything, I kind of get that pricing. Some people think it's a little expensive, but for a steel liner lock or whatever. But a hand rub blade costs a lot, guys. Using cool materials like snakewood costs money. Titanium clip costs money, you know. So, and then they gotta make money. So it makes perfect sense. That's the Holiday. And then I also have the 1929. This is black micarta. Again, these are both like 130, 140 bucks. Great detents on these. Drop shutty sort of action. This one I need to tune a little bit. It's off center and everything. Probably just need to take it apart. But excellent action. I just love the Finch 1929 and Holiday. The Harvester is good as well, and some other ones. I just love these two. The Cimarron is probably the most bang for your buck one you can get. But these are my two Finches, and I absolutely love them. So there you go. Finch row. Only had 2 of those. We are hitting 25 here. So getting over here, we have the Nimble. EMP, EDC Nimble, guys. John is an absolutely great human being. Love the dude. Excuse me. And currently I have 2. I had 3 a minute ago, but I traded 1 just because I like the older style ones a little better with the lighter detent, just because left-handed, I can flick it much easier from higher up the lock bar, where the newer one had a better detent. And when I say better, I mean that. Better. If you're right-handed, the detent was better. Because these older ones, you can kind of flop them out like that, but the new one, fires. So it's a good thing, right? Just not for me as a lefty. So I traded it. But I still have 2. I have this one from the original run. I put a black kit on this, but it normally had the gold or whatever, and it had number 14 here. And then I have a black washed production run 2 prototype that John actually gave me, which I will always treasure. That was just such a cool story. And yeah, I just love that. Satin blade. Great ergonomics. Some people think this knife's ugly. I think it's good looking. And then it's fidgety as all in hell. Just such a good knife, guys. I have a Nimble X on pre-order. You know, I mean, it speaks for itself. I've basically had 4 Nimbles or Nimble X. I've had the Thick Boy. Just love his work. And John's a great guy as well. And I would call him a buddy. He definitely is very resourceful when it comes to how I'm trying to start a knife brand with Colin. You know, there's a lot of little things you got to worry about. Taxes and like building a website and all this stuff that people don't think about. And having somebody like John who's done it before really helps a lot. So John's been a good friend in that way. So love the Nimble anyway. This is 279 bucks right now. Next up, Quiet Carry Drift. This is the G10 Drift. This was also provided by Quiet Carry for review. I have owned and bought, I think, 3 of the titanium frame lock versions, though. All great. As a lefty, the frame locks didn't have a reversible clip, and they had a frame lock, where I wish they would do a titanium liner lock like they do on the Waypoint. But anyway, these are like $325, I think, or $315. The G10 ones are like $250. Also, Van X, super clean. This one has a flat grind, so thin and slicey on these. Ergos are excellent, very reminiscent of the Roosevelt or like a Leon Ma Field Duty in terms of the ergonomic design. Very good, and then you have that drop point with lots of belly. Just really cool knife. I love this knife. On washers, one of the only knives I have on washers are the Quiet Carries, and it drops pretty well. This one's done a lot of yard work, but that is the Drift. I think I skipped one. We might be at 27. I don't know. All right, next up we have the Kangaroo Ball Sack. Shout out to Bees Blades for sending this my way. This is authentic Australian kangaroo scrotum. You can see that down here. And I use this on my live stream. So this was like, I don't know, 10 bucks maybe. Next up, we have the Ferrum Forge Stinger. And this is the one that Civivi made for them, sort of the budget version. This was a gift from my good buddy Jake over at Bearded Gear. And I slapped some Cerberus Designs scales on it. micarta scales, really nice scales. And then I had BJ Hill mod it. He removed the flipper tab, heat anode, the hardware and everything, and put this choil in. Just so comfortable. Put a mirror edge on it. And I tuned the detent myself because it was too light. Then I made it too strong, and now it's just right. Goldilocks. And this is maybe my favorite budget knife. I don't know if I said that already, but super comfortable in hand. But it is like, you know, $150 knife now with these scales. And more like $2 something with the mods, too. But so comfortable in hand. Just, it rarely gets pocket time. It's kind of just a sentimental piece because Jake gave it to me, and then I modded it and everything. But it works fantastically. I should carry it more, I just don't. So that is the Stinger. I think they're like $90 brand new. Can't believe I'm pulling this one out. This is the M-Tech Evolution something. This was a gift from Lewis over at Addicted to Knives. He's a good dude, good friend, a local buddy too. And he sent me this knife to review because it's a good knife that has M-Tech on the branding, which is just scary, right? Now, it's ugly, guys. Like, come on. It's ugly. It has these holes in it and shit. But the knife itself, I mean, look at this. Lefty reverse flick off the fuller. The detent, perfect. The drop, it was more droppy before I took it apart. It got worse. I don't know what I did. But that's what you get, probably, you know. But it's S35 end steel. It's actually quite ergonomic. It just hurts my soul to have this knife, and that's why he gave it to me. He bought another one, like a maniac, and then gave me the one that I had reviewed. It's a little off-center, but God, I hate this thing. I think it's like, it ranges from like $80 to like $140 on Amazon. Don't buy one. Next, we have the F5s. So this will take us to 30, I guess. And I have two right now. I just sold one because, guys, I'm just trying to move knives and just have too many knives. I don't know. That's how I feel. So currently I have the full tie version with LMAX steel, belt satin. Absolutely love this knife. Both on skiffs. Again, all the knives you saw that were on bearings are probably on skiffs. You can see that action. This is probably the best I've gotten a titanium one to drop and then shake. It is dead centered. It's a stiff detent on this knife. Super comfortable. You guys know this is probably my favorite production knife currently. Just works so wonderfully. Voxnez design. I believe this one was $250 new. And it does break in that detent. You just have to flick it a lot. And this is one I just haven't carried a ton because, well, I don't know. Just because. So that one. And then I have this black micarta one with an acid washed blade, which is awesome. Very comfortable in hand. Again, skiff bearings. This one's even smoother. Skiff bearings help in the F5, in my opinion, a lot for pivot lash. You get none with the skiff bearings. With the stock bearings, you get a lot of side-to-side when it's in between open and closed. You just kind of get rid of that with the skiffs. And then maybe you get a little better action. Maybe not, but there you go. Stiff detents on both of these. But they will break in over time the more I carry them. I just don't carry them a lot because I have a lot of knives. So that's kind of how it goes. F5. This one was $229, $250. The plain micarta with belt satin were $200. The carbon fiber one was $275. And then there's like Damasteel ones. And brass ones, or bronze. Those are $300 too. Next up, left-handed Axon from Vero Engineering. I've contemplated selling this one a few times as well. I actually really like this knife. You can see the action is pretty damn good drop shut. Now the detent is just, it's light, right? It's a thing that Vero likes. They like light detents. I don't know why, but they stick with it on other models. I have skiff bearings in here. That's why it's dead centered and it almost drops shut. And it does drop shut. And there is no play, no up and down. I have found a lot of people say the pivots walk on these. It's true, but what you need to do is crank that bitch down. Now, don't blame me if you do something wrong, and don't do it if you're not comfortable, but I've found that just Loctiting it doesn't seem to work because of the satin hardware. I don't know. So I put Loctite in it this last time after like 7 tries, and I really cranked it down, because you'll notice if you get one brand new, when you take the pivot out, it is tight as fuck. So that's just how they want it to stay in place, I guess. But you can see, even cranked down to like oblivion, this thing is a guillotine. So it's not going to hurt your action, I guess. Dead center. This is the black micarta with belt satin. Love it. M390. Love the ergos. Just really love it, guys. It's a great freaking knife. Looks like a pelican in my opinion. But the detent just bugs me a little bit. So I've thought about selling it. And again, just have a lot of knives. So that's the Axon. Call that number 30. Next up, the AD 20.5s. I got 2 of these guys. I had like 4 recently, but I've, again, been selling knives, just trying to, get my shit together. I don't need all of them. So this one I had done by River's Edge Cutlery. This was a stock AD 20.5. I got at Blade Show last year. It was actually numbered at one point up here, I guess. And what I did was I took it and I got these carbonized Arctic fat carbon scales, you'll see here, obviously, and backspacer, which are awesome. They look so good. And then I was like, you know what? It would look dope blacked out. So I sent it to River's Edge Cutlery when they still had their custom shop up, and I had them Cerakote everything. Liners, thumb studs, blade, lock, everything, right? Just not parts that contact, the blade or the lock or whatever. And I got it back, and holy shit, look at this thing. It is so freaking sexy. Then I got Lynch Deep carry clips after the fact. I got them in stonewashed, Lefty, by the way, which are hard to get. And, of course, skiff bearings. Yeah, so then I got another one in a sheep's foot. And I've had a few versions, different scales, all types of stuff. But I sent this one to Knife Modders to Cerakote black, because Rec was closed at that point, their custom shop. So I had them Cerakote everything black on this one, and I sent them 2 of the Lynch clips, and they blacked those out. So then I put them on both knives. Bob's your uncle. I have 2 fully blacked out 80-20.5s, one shark's foot, one clip point. One reason I don't like the knife right there. One clip point, one sheep's foot. And this one has 80s camo carbon on it. Look at that shit. I used to think, when I first got it, I didn't like the 80s camo carbon. Now, I actually freaking love it. So I'm glad I stuck with it. And I just needed 2. I had 4, and I was like, why do I need 4? I get excited, guys, and then I buy stuff, and then I buy more stuff, and then I'm like, what? And then I just start selling shit, But they're fully blacked out. The thing is, you can get Demcos now, 20.5s that are DLC'd or whatever, which is going to be better than Cerakote if you're going to use the knife a lot, right? Which I'm not. But they don't coat the lock, which sucks, right? It just looks dumb. So these are fully blacked out, and I think they look absolutely freaking sexy. So those are my 20.5s. Yes, they're like $500 20.5s. And yes, it's dumb. Okay, 32. All right, we are moving on to OTFs. I have 2 from Axial Gear, both provided by Axial Gear. I have an affiliate link there. You can use my code LeftyEDC. You get 10% off. So they sent me these to review, obviously. But I actually really like their products, guys. For the price, very impressive. This is the original Shift. This is the Warncliffe DLC version. Their knives fire, guys, and they're not uncomfortable to fire like a Microtech. They just fire really well. No glass breaker. This one has sort of a Strider angled end, and you had to get a lefty clip instead of just being able to swap. But I love the Warney, right? Really, really good. These are made in the USA, and they're like $220. Then they recently just updated it so that now the back here is flat, and the clip is just straight reversible, and it's a deep carry kind of fold over style. Just awesome, right? It's even snappier now, And this one has a double edge version. I don't think the top is actually sharp though, but it's kind of your dagger design version. This one's in S35EN. I think this one is as well, but they do come in 20 CB. Again, 220, 240 bucks for these. Use my code LeftyEDC. You can save, 25 bucks off it or whatever. And the axial gear shifts are dope for USA made. They're $100 or more cheaper than competitive or competitors like Microtech, Guardian Tactical, whatever. Heretic, they're way cheaper than Heretic. And to me, they're better. The finish on the aluminum is just like Protex, so it's very, very comfortable in hand. I always find Microtechs to be slick and kind of ugly, honestly. I don't know. They just do a great job. Take my thoughts with a grain of salt, obviously, because they send me these and I have a code, whatever. But hopefully you guys know you can believe me. These are dope as shit. So there we go. Those are the shifts. So here we go. This is the Divo Knives Goat version 2. And along with the Evo, this is probably the most tenured knife in my collection. This one might be even more so, honestly. This one's been around the block as well. It's been modded by MB Wild. Will is an awesome dude. It's also been modded by the Knife Modders. They actually recently did a regrind on it, which is insane. And they refinished the ano and everything. Will he dyed this red G10, this Merlot color. It looks so good. And then he did the scales and stuff, but they redid it because I scratched the shit out of it. But this thing fires out, Riot made. Of course, it's on skiffs. You just have to learn where to push on the lock bar, and it drops. Very, very well done. Reminds me sort of a Laconico design. Imagine if Riot made a Laconico design. It'd be so cool. I'm sure they have. Actually, they have. They've done the Jasmine for Alliance Designs, and that's an awesome knife. So anyway, that's the GOAT. This one's still available, believe it or not, over at Urban EDC Supply, who I do have an affiliate code with. That's down below. You can click on that if you want, and it'll help the channel. But they're like $279 over there, made by Riot, titanium and M390. Super comfortable. Just a great EDC sort of office carry, guys. Derek Costa is a good dude. He's the guy behind Aloni, and I recommend this knife. I don't understand why it's still on the shelves. It's weird. But that's a good one. That's the GOAT version 2. We're running out of knives, guys. We're close. Couple more. This is the Liangma Field Duty EDC in lefty configuration. I have contemplated selling this again a few times. You will see in my stout design, I kind of got inspiration from the handle on this. It's not the same, but I got a little bit of inspiration on the double choil. And just the neutral handle shape. I just find it super comfortable in hand for everybody. But of course, I wanted a sheep's foot blade. We actually are calling this a sheep's poon. So there you go. It's the official name for that. This is more of a spear point. But yeah, detent, excellent, made by Riot. This claim to fame on this is the monoblock construction. It's a piece of carbon fiber that's milled out of there completely, and then they slap this side on. So this whole side, 2/3 of it is carbon fiber, makes it lightweight. The biggest negative with this knife is just it doesn't drop shut. It drops to here, and then you got to give it shakage. This, of course, has skiffs in it as well, and the lock bar is a little bit just sort of flimsy, sort of like you can easily push it in, and I don't know, it just doesn't. I don't know. And the access to disengage is down here instead of up by the lock bar, so it's kind of weird. You have to get used to it. But it's an awesome, awesome knife, and one of the best EDC knives. The clip sucks too, actually. Come to realize this. I used to not care, but I wear thicker pants these days, and getting it in pocket sucks. So I also don't like knives with two different sides. Like, I like them to be the same, so having a show side and a lock side be different is weird for me. And this is like the only knife I own that does that. So anyway, thinking about selling it, and one of the reasons why is because of the next knife, excuse me, which is the Liangma Cuff version 2 or kitchen utility folder. And this knife just blows that one out of the water for me in terms of function and just action and everything. It's a little bit slimmer. It's a titanium frame lock. It is on bearings just like the other one, but you can see the action is just much better. Almost drop shut. Detent is so good. The sounds so good on this knife. You have that hole for deployment. Just works great. This has had a lot of work done to it. It used to have a Teletubby up here that got knocked off by OCD for EDC. Then the knife modders got their hands on it, and they did this epic bark pattern finish on it. They also cut this lock bar access in that was sorely needed. Really did not like the access before. It was basically the way this side is on both sides. No cutout here. It just was very tight. I did not like that at all. The ergos, super comfortable in hand. Kitchen utility folder, so you can get down and rock into cuts. Yeah, it's just an excellent, excellent knife. And I really, really enjoy it. So that is the Cuff version 2 from Liang Ma. So down to the last few here that I have. This is the Hogue Knives Ritter RSK MK1, I think. And this was a gift from a few channels after we did Knives Live 2021 because I handled the prizes and I don't know. They just thought I guess put a lot of work in, which I did, but you know, I don't like to talk like that or act like that. So anyway, I super appreciated this gift. It was very much out of nowhere, and yeah, it kind of blew me away, guys. And I really like this knife. It's kind of sad, honestly, because I can't like use it. You know, I don't want to use it because it has this on it. It's kind of like marked, you know, but it's very comfortable in hand. I'd had a mini a while ago and I didn't like it. But this is really good. It's probably the best sort of like Hogue Benchmade I've ever had. Action's really good on it. Just works so freaking well. Super comfortable in hand. It's a thick boy and it's a big boy, but definitely be a great work knife or EDC knife for somebody. And I would love to take this out in the yard and use it. I just won't, you know. So maybe I gotta get one for myself in like G-Mascus or something. It has a great deep carry clip. Really cool knife. It really is. And if you buy one of these, proceeds all go, not all of it, a lot of the proceeds go to Knife Rights. So it's another reason to support this knife. So that's the Ritter RSK MK1. Man, if I got that right, it's going to be impressive. Next up, the Kunwu Knives Tao. Definitely one of the better knives to come off of a Kickstarter ever. I've actually worked with QSP since getting this knife because I like it so much. We have them working actually on prototypes of the Stout. They still haven't gotten to us, so we've already chosen to go with QSP. But if they do well, also, we may do a separate order with them or a different run or whatever, you know. So I'm still interested to see how they do. I got some pictures today and they look good. This thing is incredible. It's got multi-row bearings in it. Look at this. It literally has, like, the best way to explain it is almost like sheer Goroff type, just insane action. Just a nice glide drop. There's zero play or rock. I mean, it's incredible. I've had this one for a while. It came out about a year ago. The clip is the only negative, really. It's like very flimsy, but it works great, honestly. And the jimping on the front flipper doesn't go up and around. It kind of stops early. It does work because of how big the front flipper is, but it would be even better if it went all the way around. Detent, perfect for both deployment options. And it's just a good-looking knife, in my opinion. It's got mirror edge on it from somebody and a machine set. And I think the edge is from my buddy Joe. Damascus pivot collar. $134 for this on Kickstarter was an incredible price, guys. It really just like blew us away last year. Excellent, excellent knife. I really, really dig the Kunwu Tao. And I can't wait to see what they come out with next. They have the Tao X, which is like an Axis lock style version coming. I'm supposed to be getting those whenever they come out. And I'm just excited to see what Kunwu does next. They are the ones working with Asher on a few projects right now. So, and us at Divo Knives as well. So that's the Kunwu Tao. Next up, I have the Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir. And I pre-ordered this. And guys, man, it's just a big, beautiful beast. You know what I mean? That's just the best way for me to put it. I really like this knife. It has a bolster lock design, a very good front flipper. And the best way for me to describe the way he does his deployment methods, Chris over at Renegade, is aggressive. This flipper tab catches your finger and it fires every time. Detent, perfect, but it fires every time. The stepping, I don't know how well you can see it, but the stepping around the hole, see that? Is insane. But problem with it is that's what happens. Your finger skin gets caught in it because it's so aggressive catching your finger. So it works so good for a thin slot like that. But you do leave some skin behind. It's a little bit annoying, but it's fine. Not a big deal. Action, incredible sounds, incredible size, absolutely freaking massive. Here is that number 2 pencil again. Here is that Serge Panchenko leaf again. Just for reference, guys. Okay. Absolutely massive. Yet, it carries like a much lighter, smaller, thinner knife. It's incredible. It really is some Harry Potter shit. So, that's the Gungnir. Can't wait to see what he does next. And, yeah. Next up, we have the Tactile Knife Co. Bear with a Lancelot leather slip. And I love this knife. This has a zirconium bead right here. And it has an excellent walk and talk. It's in Magna Cut. It's my first knife in Magna Cut. Great ergonomics on such a thin knife. This knife literally made me design a slip joint. So I designed one as thin as this with a sheep's foot blade, and then we added a choil, and just really, really cool. And that's just how inspiring this knife is to me, you know? I love their milling. It's incredible. That's just totally unique to Tactile. And they've dialed the action in every step of the way. Every time they make a knife, they get better. It's really, really cool to see. And I love what they're doing over there. Excellent knife. This one was, I think it's $200 new without the bead. The slip was like $35 and the bead was like $40. I did not pay for the knife. I paid for everything else. Shout out to them. The Gungnir is $425. The Tau was $134. The RSK Ritter from Hogue, I think, is like $160. And I think I told you the price on everything else. I think this is the last knife. This is the MBK Sprocket. Yes, I remembered every freaking name. So I think that's like 37 or 38 knives. And then I have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 out on loan. So I'm somewhere around 45 knives right now. That's not terrible. I have a bunch on pre-order. So, you know, probably around 50, but that's not bad. I try to keep it within that case of like 60. So I'm doing pretty good by selling stuff. Just a week ago, it would have been, you know, 10 more, maybe like 5. Anyway, MBK Sprocket, designed by Jerry McGinnis. Just such a comfortable knife in hand. You have this little spoon to rest on. You have a flat grind, very good M390. It's not super thin, but it cuts really well. It does have a recurve, but look at that. The action is bonkers on this knife. This is the first knife MBK had made by their current OEM, and it really just shows you how good they are. So shout out to MBK. Sanford Owen over there is a good friend and just a good dude in the community. Absolutely love him. So the Sprocket is the last knife in the collection. The ones I have out on loan, man, I can't think. Like, I have a Nimble out. I have one of my mini Tempests, my Gavco custom, my Kvist custom, my Asher Nomad is out. I think that might be it. I don't know. I could have some going around, pass around and stuff. But then I have the couple customs on the way, some pre-orders coming in. So I'm cooler than what you saw. Okay, don't think I'm not cool. I'm just kidding. So currently today in pocket, I had this because it came in right when I got off of work. It came in. Nice little ting to it. It's breaking in pretty nice. It's starting to feel a little sloppy. Yeah, it probably needs a Loctite. And then I had, of course, the stout on me today. Just, guys, you know how it is. Love it. Have my Dapper Ion flashlight. I did pick up a CWF Mini Arcadian. That'll be coming soon. My Fulcrum with the Lefty logo I had on me. I had a Hank from Renegade Provisions Co. The If You Know, You Know. Hank with the steels on it. I had chapstick. And then I had my titanium pill container I got on Etsy. I really love this thing. I might try to have one made to sell for Divo Knives. I just like the idea of that little contents creator or container. And some random chapstick from Amazon or something. So that's my carry. And that's my collection, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I know it was a long one, but that's how collections go. I'd love to see yours. If you have a channel and you haven't done a collection video, please do it. Tag me. I'll make a playlist. We can all, do the same thing. So I love you guys. I truly hope you're doing well. I hope your families are well. If there's anything I can do to make your life better that's actually within my ability, please let me know, and I will do my best. I truly love you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.